returning, and they have brought something truly amazing. Trees heavy with fresh incense ready to plant, ebony and whitest ivory, baboons, monkeys and dogs, countless leopard skins, even slaves and children. Nothing like this has ever happened to another king of Egypt.
The scribes who accompanied the army carefully recorded the wonders of that exotic land. Houses on stilts, giraffes, and strange tropical trees. Along with the flora and fauna, the Queen of Punt was depicted as a huge, fat woman. These reliefs are regarded as the first anthropological study in history. The expedition to Punt did more than legitimize Hatshepsut's position as pharaoh. It set her apart as the pharaoh who had opened Egypt and reached out to foreign lands.
Under her reign, you really have the explosion of wealth, of power, of vision in a way. It's a great reign.
After 22 years on the throne, Hatshepsut died. She hoped that her obelisks towering over Karnak would forever remind the world of her greatness. But she had stolen the name of Pharaoh from her stepson, and for this, he would make her pay. Thutmose III, rightful heir to the throne, was 25 years old and ready to claim his inheritance.
Amun opened the gates, and I flew up to heaven as a divine hawk. He gave me his strength and his might.
Thutmose quickly reconnected himself with the line of warrior pharaohs, Akhmos and Kamos. It would be as if his stepmother had never reigned. Thutmose would make sure of that. Thutmose had her obelisks bricked up and ordered that Hatshepsut's name and image be carefully removed from every corner of Egypt.
Thutmose III is saying we don't need the memory of this female ruler, this interlude in the history of Egypt as an imperial power.
Even Hatshepsut's beautiful temple was defaced.
It would be like it was in the days when it was being built and decorated, but in reverse. The scaffolding would be up, there would be hundreds of workmen scurrying around, busily chipping away at the wall to organize the defacing of the royal image of Hatshepsut was certainly a major bureaucratic task. And if there was anything the ancient Egyptians liked, it was a major bureaucratic task. So I'm sure this was some high official's acme of his career.
All evidence of Hatshepsut's reign was destroyed.
If you erase someone's image from their mortuary monument, you are in effect erasing them from continuing existence in the afterlife. And for any Egyptian, royal or otherwise, that's total disaster. And so by defacing a monument like that, you're saying, no, you don't have eternity.
With her name erased throughout Egypt and excluded from all the lists of kings, it was as if Hatshepsut had never existed. The death of a pharaoh was always a time for neighboring nations to test the resolve of a new successor. Now a coalition of Middle Eastern princes moved south and gathered in the city of Megiddo, threatening Egyptian trade and influence in the region. Perhaps his enemies thought Thutmose would be weak. If so, they had made a terrible mistake. Thutmose had waited over 20 years for this moment. He intended not just to push back these warlike rulers, but to take over their countries. Thutmose was planning what no Egyptian pharaoh had ever dreamed of: to build an empire.
The strategy was hammer, 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 hammer. He realized that in order to build up a secure basis of power in the Eastern Mediterranean, that it was going to take a great military effort, that it was going to take many, many campaigns. And so that's what he did.
To increase the size of his army, Thutmose launched a huge recruiting campaign. Soldiers were enlisted either voluntarily or by force.
And they had to be armed, and we know there were these great armories filled with weapons and shields and things of this kind, and every soldier was given his gear, his kit.
Finally, the 4 great divisions of the powerful Egyptian army headed north, across the scorching Sinai Desert. They moved boldly up the Mediterranean coast.
An Egyptian army on the move would be an impressive affair.